Hello, this is Brad with BIZERK Production and DJ Academy in Arlington Heights, and I'm going to give you a shortened version of a sidechain tutorial. Basically, sidechaining is going to make one sound automatically lower in volume when another sound basically plays. So up top, I'll just play the top track I have here. It's a kick and a snare. Pretty simple and basic. And then underneath it, I have a bass line. So let me show you what that sounds like. So now if I play everything together, which the bass line is not sidechained yet, it might sound kind of muddy, not really too clean sounding. So let's listen. Basically, the bass line and the kicks and the snares, they're all competing for space, so you're not getting any clean. The bass line just doesn't sound clean with it. So let's apply a sidechain and fix that up. First thing you're going to do is go to your audio effects, compressor, and drop the compressor on the bass line. Or you can do it on on a synth or on a vocal, anything you want that will literally just be reduced in volume whenever there's another kick or snare. So let's just listen one more time. Okay. First thing you want to do, you put the compressor on the bass line. You go down to the compressor, you click the little button right to the left of it. This is a little arrow. Then you will see sidechain. Click sidechain. Go to audio input. In this case, we're going to choose it from audio 1, track 1 that is, which is our kick and snare. If I press spacebar, you'll notice even though the compressor is on the bass line track, you'll notice the volume will be affected based on the kick and the snare. There we go. So basically, you're seeing the volume from the kick and the snare, even though it's on the compressor and the bass line. What you really need to do is put the ratio. I like to put it up like for dubstep. It just kind of creates a tighter sidechain. You can go all the way up, some of the way up. Use your ears. But first off, I'll put it up to, let's say, 3 o'clock. And listen to what happens to the bass line as I lower the threshold. You'll notice it'll start sidechaining. Play it for the beginning. Now that's a big sidechain. I did that on purpose so you can hear it. Now this is right to the right of the threshold. So the threshold again is basically how much it's going to sidechain. That's a huge sidechain. Now look at this gain reduction. It's going down really far. So that's how much it's also sidechain. The yellow line going down. So I like to put my sidechain about right here. Kind of in between where the lowest volume is on the threshold and the highest volume. Kind of like in the halfway point. Right there. And then if I change my ratio up or down, that also will have a nice effect. So basically, I like to put my ratios up. The attack is how fast the gain reduction goes down, and the release is how fast the gain reduction goes up. So let's edit the attack a little bit. If you put it too low, it might be a little distorted, so you should put it up just a little bit like so. Now you can do an auto release, which will make the gain reduction go up automatically whenever the volume of the snare goes down or the kick goes down. So here's auto right here on the bottom. Or you can change your release like so. So if you turn it up, you'll notice that it'll take a lot longer for the volume to return to normal. So I like to put the release down about right here. You want the gain reduction to look like a nice punch when it goes down. I'll put the sidechain on more so you can hear it really what it's doing more. I like where it's at here with this gain reduction. It's actually a little heavy of a sidechain, which again I'm doing on purpose just so you can hear it better. Now a couple of other things. Root mean square. peak and expand. These are different methods that it compresses. So the normal one is peak, the average, the one that most people use. But you should choose RMS, which means root mean square. Basically, it's less sensitive to short peaks and responds more slowly, but it sounds a little cleaner. Yeah, that's quality sidechaining. Now, down here, you can go to transfer curve view, which will show you, it's almost like a knee. You can move this knee up or down, and basically it makes it the behavior change, so that if this knee is basically lower, so basically it just changes the behavior of the sidechain. I don't like it at 0 decibels. I like a little bit of a softer knee, so I'm gonna put this up a little bit. This little green dot is how much you can see that's related to the threshold, the volume that's on the input. Here's my gain reduction. You also can choose this little button here. This is activity view. This is great because it actually shows you what the volume is doing, how it's sidechaining. This orange line is representing the reduction of volume. This here is how much also the sidechaining is actually, how powerful it is too, basically. So we can move this up or down. Yeah, big sidechain right there. So the goal is not to put too much sidechain unless that's the effect you're trying to go for, but sidechaining is mainly to keep the bass line so that it doesn't interfere with the drums. You can also do it on synths, vocals, really any other type of instrument around your kick and your snare, or just the kick. In this case, I have it on a kick and a snare. Anyway, let's hear the sidechain turned off. And let's turn it on to listen. And that is sidechaining in a nutshell. If you would like to take lessons with me, I can go over this and much more. You can just message me on my Facebook page. My name is Brad BIZERK Neerman, and you can see my BIZERK Academy page at facebook.com/BIZERK Academy. You can go to BIZERKacademy.com, and you can schedule an appointment that way just by submitting your information, and we'll get in contact with you. So we do appreciate your time, and thank you for listening to the very first video.